What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Knuckles YouTube channel. Today we're doing the states, I guess, question and answer for week 2. There's only like 5 states, right, Chris?
Yes, sounds about right.
Yeah, okay. But if y'all just want to introduce yourself real quick, like always, there's a new cast of people. So,
Christopher Schminsky, I've been playing six some years now. Half of it as master, half as a senior. Pretty good year this year. Top 8 Houston, did badly as it is, but that's his life.
Yeah. What's up, everyone? I'm Michael Hopkins. I'm like a Southern Illinois player, but I play in St. Louis. I've been playing for like 6 years, the same as Chris. I don't like. I'm not really like affiliated with any websites or anything, but you guys can check out CharizardLounge.com. I promised Wumble in the group chat that I would plug his website. So check out Charizard Lounge, thecharizardlounge.com. And that's it.
And what's up, guys? I'm Eric, Eric Smith. I've been playing since Jungle, but I guess like as far as competitively, only probably since Noble Victories or Next Destinies. And gonna give a quick plug to my YouTube channel, Rare Candy. Hey,
is it just
but
Rare Candy or
yeah,
Rare
guys, that's
Candy?
it.
Oh no, do you hear me? Eric, don't let me down.
Wait, what's up?
I said, is it Rare
No, I'm
Candy
here.
or
I'm still
is
here.
it the Rare Candy or just Rare Candy?
Just Rare Candy.
I don't know how y'all got that name. Like, that's so crazy. Like, just Rare Candy wasn't taken, so.
Somehow.
Alright. So, three out of the four played last week. So, but Eric didn't play last week, so can't really provide info for last week, but we're still good. Well, the first question was, what did Jake Morgan play? Y'all know who that is?
I have no idea who that is.
Don't worry about it. He played Night March. The next question was, did you make any last minute changes to your deck before the tournament? Now, I don't know who this is directed towards, but I'm going to rearrange this question. How do you decide what to change in your deck? Like, if it's like an hour before the tournament, do you ever like change your list, or do you always keep the same like 60?
I guess I'll go. So I played Night March at Missouri State's, and I had been working on a Night March list for like 2 or 3 weeks, and I like had a list. I talked to people about it, and I hadn't changed any cards in like ever, and I thought it was like the perfect list. And so the day of the tournament, or the day before the tournament, actually, I talked to my friend Zach Zamora, and I was like, "What are people playing around here?" Because he was up at the game shop, Yeti Gaming. He was there like the night before, and he's like, "Yeah, people are playing like Trevenant and some Eviltal and like Manectric Jolteon." And I was like, "Wait, who's playing Manectric Jolteon?" He said Connor Lavelle, and so Connor made like top 4 at St. Louis Regionals, so I knew he would probably cut. I did not want to lose to him in like top 8, so I put in one Gallade and one Maxie's in my Night March deck, like right when I got to the store. I thought about it on the drive there, so I ended up putting like AZ and Buddy Buddy Rescue, and like I didn't ever use Gallade, but like I did well at the tournament, so it was fine.
Yeah, and I guess I played Night March Vespiquen this weekend, and St. Alex Hill and I have been working on a list for a while, and our general stance toward last minute changes, if we can't convince each other it's worth it, it probably isn't. Unless we're playing in different metagames, like we would have been this weekend, but we didn't know what the metagame was going to be. Like I was throwing around crazy ideas, like I wanted to cut the third Shaman from our list and got mocked for it. Like we didn't change anything at the last minute, and it worked out fairly well. So
Yeah, I usually don't like to make changes to my list. Like, if you feel comfortable with your list and you go to a tournament, you're like, oh, I think this is going to be here. Like, the probability of you like hitting it is not like it's not guaranteed. So sometimes you
Yeah,
don't want to make that change.
yeah, I never even played against Connor, and like I think I got Gallade out like round 1 against Trevenant because it was like my only thing that I could do. But it was just, I don't know if I would have switched it up or not.
Okay. What about you, Eric?
I mean, I pretty much exclusively change my deck on the day of the tournament. Just, I don't know. I always get paranoid about some sort of matchup, and always inevitably change something. So like people can probably ask for my list right now, and I'm gonna tell them that's what I'm gonna play. But when I get to the tournament, more than likely I'm gonna freak out and change something. But but yeah, so maybe I might change one card. But I mean, if it's a deck I've been testing for forever, for like a couple months, I'll probably keep it the same. But if it's something I've started testing only in the past week or two, more than likely I'd change something the last day or two of the tournament.
All right. So the next question is a question that everybody wants to know. What are some of the techs or good ways to beat Night March? Because I mean, week one, Night March was like 70% winning or something like that. I can't remember how high it was. Like it was definitely up there. So,
Yeah.
what techs do you think beats Night March? We'll go with Chris first since you played Night March.
I mean, one does not simply tech to beat Night March in anything and expect it to work. I'd argue the only way to beat it is through different strategies that take advantage of its weaknesses. Like, especially lists aren't playing basic energy now, so late game you're very weak to. They can deny you time puzzle. Things that take advantage of low HP like Greninja. There aren't really any solid techs that can do anything. Obviously, like Yveltal, if you play a Toad, you can use that late game to sort of deny DC, but you still have to knock out Night Marchers. So I'd say there's no hard and fast tech that really works against Night March. It's so simple, so fast, consistent.
Definitely.
What about you, Michael?
I don't know. I feel like if Night March plays against like any deck that doesn't lock it, then Night March wins. Like against Evil Tall, against I don't know, even Greninja, like it can still string Hex Maniacs. Night March is just so versatile that it's like insane trying to counter it. I think the best counters are made like when you design your deck. Like Vespiquen Vileplume, I think is the best, if not one of the best counters to the deck, and Trevenant as well. But like Trevenant's kind of like not as consistent, I feel, as getting the lock turn one as Vespiquen Vileplume. But I don't know. I don't think there's any like one or two card techs to really beat Night March. I know Britt Pybus in Missouri, he played like a Drudigon, and he played like Zero Sick, and he would try to run them out of energy, but with Puzzle of Time, you don't run out of energy. It's just disgusting.
How about you, Eric?
I think it really just depends on what deck you're already playing would kind of determine what techs you would want. Like for example, if I was going to play maybe like some type of slower evolution based deck, I would maybe think about playing Jirachi with Stardust. I mean, it might not win you the game, but if you're a deck like maybe Greninja that falls down maybe 3 prizes before it really sets up, you could use something like Jirachi to stall for a few turns. But I'd agree that it's more of like certain decks counter Night March than just one singular card. Like
Yeah,
Toad
definitely.
Tina seems like it does good. I haven't tested it yet, but I mean, I hear Toad Tina's done all right at some tournaments. Vespiquen Vileplume, like you guys said, but I'd really just choose my techs for Night March depending on what deck I'm already playing and if that fits into the deck, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. All right. So the next question is, what is the riskiest deck to play this weekend? I don't know if anybody knows risky deck plays or not.
Hmm.
I'm gonna say risky. I'm gonna say Garchomp. Seems risky.
Garchomp? You mean risky or bad?
No, but it's risky. But it probably won't work. But we're going risky. I mean, bad and risky are like the same thing, right?
No, I think risky is like high risk, high reward. I don't know if there's really a reward for that. Like it just kind of sits there. I don't know. Don't quote me on that.
I don't know.
For me, the riskiest deck, I'd say Greninja, because of Night March's dominance over like last weekend states. I like played against one Greninja, and I saw one of my friends played against two like really good Greninja players. And Greninja's just so naturally inconsistent because they don't play Shaman, or most of the lists don't play Shaman that are around here. And like they draw, so Greninja would go first, they'd draw, they'd have like a Froakie, They like attach, play supporter, and pass. And Night March would just knock them out. And like there's a game right there. And that happened like 1 out of every 3 games I saw of Greninja being played. And like I just don't think it's very consistent. Did I say Entei? I think I said Entei. So. Wait, I was thinking about that. I don't know, but I think Greninja and Entei, if Entei is even a deck anymore, are both risky. I was just thinking of that on the side. Like, Entei is really good, but with all the trainer lock and megaphones being played, like both of those decks are just really risky, I feel.
I feel like Toad Giratina is something that a lot of people will try to play, but it's a serious risk because obviously it has some momentum out of last weekend. It's theoretically can counter Night March, which is the deck to beat this weekend, it looks like. But I think the problem is it's so easily teched against with Jirachi. You can easily just fall flat with you have to go X11 to cut reliably, unless you're in Utah apparently. So I think that's probably the riskiest high reward play there is available this weekend.
Yeah, there was one Totina that cut our state in Missouri. There was like maybe one other at the tournament, and he actually lost the Night March in top 8. And
Yeah, exactly.
he said he had a losing record for the Night March in tournament.
Right, that doesn't even surprise me because you're
I don't
so
know.
reliant.
Yeah. So I don't even know how to describe the deck.
Yeah.
What about you, Eric?
I'd maybe say Mega Mewtwo Y, because I feel like it has really good matchups other than Night March. So I mean, if you think you can dodge the entire field, I mean, it seems really good. But I'd maybe say Garchomp as well. I like Garchomp, but Trainer Lock's just so popular, because especially if people see that Night March is so popular, I think you might see more Trevenant and Vileplume decks pop up, which would be really bad if you're a Garchomp.
Yeah. I think going off Chris too, like the Totina thing. I played one in top 8. People are like, Totina destroys Vesqueen Vileplume. You should have a Giratina. Nah. I attacked for like 180 turn 1 and knocked out the Giratina. Like, yeah.
I don't know.
Alright, so let's see. Okay. Chris kind of already talked about this a little bit. Will we see more Toad decks to counter Night March?
I mean, sure, you'll see people try. Will they succeed? I don't know. Night March is simply so fast, and as I talked about, beating even Toad Giratina can lose to it. That's the variant best equipped to beat it. So I think people might try, yeah, but I think they should look elsewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that Seismitoad has a good Night March matchup. Like, I was talking to one of my friends, and he posted a list of like Seismitoad, Shaman with Slowking in it, and I was like, yeah, that probably beats Night March. But can that be Eviltal, or can that be like Trevenant or Vespiquen Vileplume? Like Seismitoad decks just don't do enough damage with the loss of Hypnotoxic Laser, and like you can play Empoleon, but it's just so inconsistent. What are you laughing at?
The Empoleon thing.
What's wrong with Empoleon?
Yeah, go away. Alright, what about you, Eric? Well, you think Sidestow's gonna make an appearance?
I mean, I'm sure people will play it. I feel like I don't know to what capacity. I mean, I've seen people talk about the Slowking version, so some people might just be a little curious to try that out. So you might see some people try that. I don't know. I feel like you might see more Vespiquen Vileplume as a response instead, because I feel like that's just generally a good deck that has good matchups across most things. So I feel like you would maybe see more of that than Toad pop up, but who knows?
Yeah, I'm not playing this weekend, but if I were, or if I was playing, and I think that if I wouldn't do this in Night March, but in my any other deck, I would play one Aegis/EX just to counter Vespiquen Vileplume. I'm not sure if they still play Toxicroak, but I don't think Toxicroak's even like enough to beat Aegis Slash. You can just like retreat and attack with your other dudes. I would definitely play Aegis Slash.
Yeah. I think 8 slash is good enough. Alright, so there's 2 questions about Jolteon. I'm going to ask the second one. Was the lack of Jolteon because of the card availability, or is it just not that good?
I don't know. I feel like it's a little bit of both. Like at the moment, Jolteon's like what $40, $50, something like that. Like, people don't really want to shell out that kind of money, but the people who really think that it's good don't really care about that because like, oh, I'm going to play this and I'll win. But I don't know. I just think that the prevalence of Gallade and Zoroark and like Vespiquen and all of those things like negate Jolteon's effectiveness. Like it's just not worth it. And Jolteon's 3 energy, it's only 160 HP, I think. I just don't think the card's that good.
I have
There's
a
just
magic.
Oh,
Good.
uh, okay. No, I was gonna say like it's a decent card, but there's just too many other non-basic attackers right now. I think for it to like just destroy estates and sweep it, because I mean like even people are playing Trevenant, Greninja. Some people are trying Garchomp. There was even a Mega Latios deck I saw topped an event recently. So there's just so many like non-basic attackers right now for it to just be worth shelling out $40 to for like 1 or 2 copies to play with, I think.
I played against, I think, 4 or 5 Mega Manectric this weekend in Maine, and one of them in game 1 just opened Jolteon to my Joltik. And clearly he's like, oh, it's Night March, I have a free win, ha ha ha. But he went first, just left alone Jolteon and didn't bench the Manectric in his hand. And I, of course, go turn 160, and he loses. Like, there's just so many ways around it. It's a very imperfect lock that's so easily broken, it's really just not worth it.
Yeah, in my Night March list, I also played Pokemon Catcher, so like
Yes.
that can get around it pretty easily.
Yeah.
yeah. I've seen Liz play like Escape Rope as well with time puzzles,
Yeah.
so
Mhm.
yeah, it's easy doable. All right. Let's see. The next question is about Best Plume. Would you make any changes to your list? And if you heard just a second ago, Michael just talked about Aegislash. If you're worried about Aegislash, cut a Juniper and put a Silent Lab in there, and you can knock out their only Aegislash.
Seems bad.
It seems bad. Okay.
Whole deck.
What'd you say?
So you have to draw through your whole deck, and you have to get
Silent Lab?
the grass stadium, and then you have to not burn through the Silent Lab while you're doing all that.
Wamball did it while having an AZ and Light Center in his hand the whole time. He played 1 Light Center, 1 AZ, and kept it the majority of times. It's so easy to do, like I promise.
I mean, I trust them. I don't know. Your judgment's probably better than mine. I've never played the deck.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, it's really funny because people are like, "You just play Friday Night Evital, Light Center Vileplume, you win." Like, all right, I'm gonna drop a Silent Lab, retreat, and kill you.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Did you guys play Silent Lab?
Huh?
Did you guys play Silent Lab?
No, but for week 2, I'm going to. Oh, I'm saying right now, I'm playing Silent Lab in my list for week 2. I don't care. Come at me.
Whatever.
All right. And if you want to learn how to play the deck, just watch past videos. I talk about it a billion times. Like it's easy to understand. So this is a funny question: is week 2 going to be packed because of how few states are, or are they going to be empty because Eve's this weekend?
I don't know.
I think it's going to
I don't-
depend on the location to a degree. Like, I fully expect New York will be a zoo. South Carolina will be a zoo. I think New Hampshire will be small. It's either Kansas or Nebraska this weekend. I think we'll be above their average. Like, Iowa last year was on Easter, and it was crazy for Iowa. It was like double their record. And then Tennessee, I think I've heard so many people going to Tennessee from Texas, Alabama, whatnot. So I think that'll be busy as well.
I say maybe like for seniors there might not be many people, or juniors, because they'll be forced to like do family stuff probably. But I really don't think it'll affect Masters that much though.
Yeah, I'm not. Or I was gonna go to Tennessee with Womble, or maybe like Nebraska with someone else. But I mean, I'm not gonna miss Easter. Like, forget Pokemon. I wish I could say that the other way around, but whatever.
I mean, you can spend Easter with your best friends. I mean, how could you? How? It's perfect.
Dude, free food? Are you kidding me?
depending on how nice your friends are, you can get free food.
I don't think Andy's gonna slide for that. Maybe like some fries or something.
Just French fries. That's all you get.
Yeah.
So, Michael's already talked about this. Is there any chance Intake could have a showing this weekend?
I don't know. I'll stick with what I said before. It's really risky, and I don't know how good it is. I wouldn't play it.
I mean, what are you trying to beat with it? That something else doesn't already beat better without being susceptible to Toad, the fact that Blacksmith's a supporter. I mean, what's it better against than anything else? Couldn't see it.
Yeah. I don't know. I've
Agreed.
always thought that was really bad.
I mean, have y'all tested Intake at all or no?
I tested against it.
Nah, I don't think it's good anymore. Like, I'm not still 100% sure why it was good to begin with. But that's a whole different topic. Like,
I just feel like the format wasn't developed enough, and people didn't really know what they were doing. Personally.
alright. So, let's see. Why isn't Batman, or Manectric Crobat, for those who don't know, doing so well? Was it because of low win rate, or what? Is it low play rates or low win rate? There we go. I feel like it has a good matchup with most meta decks. So, Eric, how do you think Crobat Manectric does in this format?
I mean, in theory, it sounds kind of decent. I mean, again, we're kind of thinking of Night March as like the BDIF or deck to beat, and I feel like on paper it kind of beats that. I feel like it has a good Yveltal matchup. I feel like those are, I think, probably the two biggest decks to try to beat. So, I mean, on paper, it seems like a good play, actually. So, I don't know, maybe just people aren't playing it. To be honest, until you mentioned it, I completely forgot about it. So, it could just be a case of people just not playing it.
Yeah, I could see that.
I played it round 7 this weekend with in Maine, and the key thing about my list, I guess, was Vespiquen. Makes it a lot better matchup because you have something that doesn't necessarily just get one shot so easily. And he was shocked I was able to beat him. That last game 1, we just got destroyed, but the second and third game, I got timely hexes that he couldn't knock out attackers, and between target whistle, catcher, things like that, it's pretty easy to get 3 turns of attacking before they can take surprises.
Yeah, the thing with Night March is like, oh, does my opponent play Shaman? Oh, he does? Oh, I can win. You just play target whistle and catcher and Lysander, and you're good to go.
Chris, did he play Assault Vest or did he play Fighting Fury Belt?
He played Vests, but I had Megaphone and Time Puzzle, so...
True. Okay. Fair enough. It's so different now, because I know when I played Manectric Bats, I could easily destroy Night March, but that's because they didn't have Time Puzzle, so they had one Megaphone, or, just one ofs, and so now it's crazy.
And if I didn't have Vespiquen, I don't think I would have ever won, but that was a big reason we wanted to play it, was ability to beat Bat, so...
Okay. So this person asked like a bunch of pros and cons, but there's one question that struck me, and I'm gonna ask this one. I'm not gonna ask all these. How good is Garbodor right now? Like, is it still is it playable? Like, it won nationals, but we haven't seen it since then, really.
I feel like the best ability in the game right now, by far, is Shaman. Like, every deck plays at least 2 Shaman. And so, except for Greninja, that's different. I feel like you'll use the Shaman turn 1, and then you might use a Shaman like turn 6 or 7 or something, like to get out of a judge. In Garbodor, I just think it's too slow to stop that Shaman, the first Shaman, and then what's the point? Like Diggersby Garbodor is the thing, I guess. Like Diggersby will like red card and delinquent and like attack you with Corphish, so you have a 0 card hand. That's kind of gimmicky. And I don't think that did very well this weekend. And I feel like Yveltal Garbodor just still has the same problems as normal Yveltal does. Like it loses in Night March. So I don't think Garbodor is very good. I don't know. I just think I keep saying like I don't think X deck is very good. It's just because like everything loses the Night March. How are you supposed to beat that?
Yeah, exactly. No, you're very true.
That's the whole format.
Guys, want to about anyone else I want to add about Garbodor?
Sure. I mean, I guess you could theoretically try to, like, if your deck runs compressor already, you could throw in like a Wally or something if you really, really want to make Garbodor work and get it going turn one. But I don't know, like, it's kind of good against some of those like tier two, maybe like tier three ish type of decks like Greninja right now. But I mean, as far as like the best decks, as far as like in terms of wins so far, I don't think it really adds anything to your matchup by playing Garbodor.
I think I'd only play it because I wanted to beat the Night March counter decks like Greninja. I can't think of doesn't beat anything else.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it as like a counter to Vespiquen Vileplume because if you go first and you get like a Trubbish with the Floatstone or whatever tool you play, and then like you can evolve in Garbodor, and I don't think they'd play Zero Sick or Megaphone. So that could. So you have to go first and get both of those cards out, and then get the Garbodor like on the next turn.
Yeah, it's always the thing with Vescu Vileplume. Everybody thinks they have these answers, but then you have to. Once I get Vileplume out, you can't Ultra Ball to get that Pokemon out, so
Yeah.
things become really strange. But if you're thinking about Garbodor, I think what Michael said earlier, like Shaman's come out really quickly, so the thing you probably want to do is pair with Wobbuffet, if you can. But I'm not sure what deck you can play with that. Like, you can maybe see like Mega Manetric, Wobbuffet,
Yeah, that-
Garbodor. Might see a play. Like, it might seem decent, but it's probably still not that good. Like, the turn one Wob might help you out against Night March, but even then they play like Catchers and Ice-Enders and...
Just everything.
Alright. So, I mean, it's kind of... I think we all know this answer. What kind of item lock has a better matchup across the board?
What do you mean we all know this answer? Just because you won a States doesn't mean anything. But no, I think Vespiquen Vileplume is the best by far. I don't think Trevenant is good. I'll call that a good deck for once. But I think Vespiquen Vileplume is just more consistent and more dangerous.
I mean, I'm the totally biased one who played Trevenant for Worlds, and I'd still say Vileplume right now. Trevenant's so flimsy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just not even close.
What about you, Eric? I can't even tell if he's gone or not.
I don't know. I can't even see his picture on my screen. I
Yeah,
don't
me
know.
either.
Oh, okay. I see him smiling at me. That's all I know. He's here in spirit.
Oh, it's definitely a lot less consistent than Vileplume is.
Yeah, okay. That's good.
Same.
Oh, wait, can the rest of you guys hear me?
No,
Yeah.
we can hear you now. We can hear you
In
now.
and
We're
out.
good. Try it again.
Oh, wait.
All right. Just to let y'all know, his face is frozen right now.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. No, but come on.
And getting a few words.
Can you hear me again?
We're good. Yeah. I don't know how late ago you said that though.
Oh, okay. But, anyways, so I want to say Trevenant, but it's not as consistent as Vileplume. But, so I haven't tested Vileplume myself, but I mean, I'm sure it's better. I mean, Trevenant hasn't topped anything. Well, that's not true. I think it did top Estates, but I don't think it's won anything, though.
No. I'm like 90% sure it didn't win anything.
According to the CharizardLounge.com, Trevenant has one top 4 and one top 8. So, there's that.
Yeah. Yeah, Vileplume's probably the more consistent, though.
Yeah.
According to the Charizard Lounge. Oh my goodness. Alright. Totina, we already talked about that. Let's see. Alright, so here's the question. Night March versus Trevenant. Who usually wins that? Like what somebody said was Night March so big because there's less Trevenant players, or does Night March just destroy Trevenant? I don't know how the matchup goes. I haven't played it.
let me chime in on this one. Me and my friend Marcus, we've been testing that matchup a lot, and I think if you're Trevenant, it's good to play Megaphone, just because if you lose the coin flip, they normally get a Fighting Fury belt down, which really messes up the math for your attacks and like for burst balloons. So I like playing Megaphone if you're going to play Trevenant, just because if they can't get down Fighting Fury belts, it's pretty easy to kind of I think win the matchup, assuming you don't have like a horrendous start.
Right. Yeah, I played against Trevenant round one, and not to discredit this guy at all, but he was like a pokey dad, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm here for my kid and everything. I'm like, oh yeah, that's awesome. And he went first, and he was playing Trevenant, and like he locked me up game one. He got like the turn one, or no, that was game two. Game one, he like started with a Phantom and like attached and passed. And I like dug through my entire deck minus like maybe 20 or so cards, and I missed all 4 battle compressors and 3 of my DCEs to get the win, because one was prize. And so next turn he like evolved and got like a Phantom and like a Wally, and I just lost from there. Like, I feel that Night March wins about a third of the time, because sometimes Trevenant can get benched if Night March like goes first. And Night March it's possible to like string Hex Maniac like throughout the entire game. And if they just do that, then I don't think Trevenant can win.
That's why I play Vileplume, or Vespiquen, I should say.
Chris, how many Hex Maniacs did you list playing, if you don't mind asking?
We only played one this weekend. I think I definitely would consider a second going into this weekend with all of the Vileplume hype. But I also don't know that the deck's a valid consideration for this weekend anyway, so...
Yeah, I did an interview the other day, and the guy who won played 2 Hex Maniacs on his list, so I didn't... But it's just straight Night March, it wasn't Vespiquen, so I mean...
Was that in Michigan?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so...
I wasn't in Michigan, so...
I know you weren't in Michigan.
Oh, yeah, no, I know, but I have no idea even who did what, so...
Yeah, so I didn't know, like, what was the standard count. Like, how many did you play up, Michael? Was it 1 or 2?
I just played 1, but during the Chicago Marathon, I was like talking to Michael Slutsky and like Omar Rayhan, I think is his last name, and they were playing 2 in their list for like the mirror match, because in the Night March mirror match, you want to go second. And so if your opponent chooses to go second and you go first, you can like battle compress your way a Hex turn 1 and Hex them. Or you can like draw into Hex, because you have the second copy, it's more likely, so then you'll, I guess, have an advantage or just win the mirror match. So I played 2 back then, but I dropped it to 1 just for, like, I had to cut something for Puzzle of Time.
That's true. Alright, so, let's see. Can Groudon and Wobbuffet Bat stop the cancer decks? I guess that's what he called it, but he's talking about, I guess, Vespiquen, Vileplume, and I imagine Night March, most likely.
Groudon, Wobbuffet Bat.
No, Groudon, Wobbuffet, and then Wobbuffet Bats. Like, choose 2 separate decks.
Oh.
Not the same deck. No, we're not playing Wobbuffet, Groudon, Bats. That'd be... No.
I was like, what are you doing? I don't know.
I think the answer is just no.
Yeah.
I'd play Wobbuffet Bats before I play Primal Groudon. I'll say that.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And even if either beats Night March, I don't know that either beats it enough of anything else that you can count on winning any tournament anyway, so...
Yeah. I kind of like Groudon, to be honest. Like, I mean, I tested it for regionals, like, but that's expanded, and
yeah.
I'm kind of still on the Groudon vibe, you know? Like, I feel like if you start Wobbuffet and, like, Silent Lab, your opponent can just, like, draw dead, but people playing, like, acrobikes and all kinds of stuff, so it's probably not good.
Yeah, I mean, if my opponent started Wobbuffet and I'm playing Vespiquen, Vileplume, it might seem kind of bad, but we play, like, the 4 Unknown, the 4 Trainer's Mill, the 4 Acrobike, like... On paper, it seems like Wobbuffet would destroy us, but that's some stuff to beat it.
Yeah.
Alright, so... If you had a choice right now, would you play Night March or would you counter Night March?
So I was I like follow Yu-Gi-Oh, and I don't play the game. And there's this guy who's won like 8 premier tournaments, and he's like the best player ever. His name's Patrick Hoban, and he wrote a book about Yu-Gi-Oh. And I was watching an interview about his book, and he like gave all kinds of like tips and tricks, and he said that it is better to play the best deck than it is to play a deck that beats the best deck. Because it's the best deck for a reason. Like it has to have something stronger and better than everything else. And Night March got like 2,800 championship points this weekend, and the next deck was YVG that got like 900 or something. Like it's by far the best deck, and I don't think any deck really beats it 100% of the time. Like even Vespiquen Vileplume can lose to it.
I lost to it.
Yeah. So I would rather play Night Merge. 100%. I'll stick with that.
What you, Eric?
If you're trying to win, I would play Night March. But me personally, I'm extremely stubborn. I hate playing all basic decks. It's just something. I just feel like part of my soul is being sucked away whenever I play like all basic or all EX decks. So I would rather try to counter it with like some sort of item lock or something, or whatever you think counters Night March. But if you want to win, probably you should play it.
As long as I can still play Vespiquen in this question, yes, Night March.
Yeah, you can still play Best Queen. I'll allow it. I mean, to bounce off Michael too as well. Back when SPs were a thing, like people tried to play decks that counter SPs, and then SP was still like the best
like,
deck.
People would play Machamp with Takeout, and all the SP Pokemon were basics, and they were just stronger than everything else. And for one fighting energy, your entire deck would be knocked out. And that deck, Machamp didn't do that well, and like SP decks were the best by far. So they beat everything.
Yeah. All right. So, Chris Strala, did you read Alex's question?
Probably not.
All right. So he asked top 5 hottest males in Pokemon.
Okay.
Community.
I thought Russ had a better question.
Wait, who? What did Ross say?
Russ's comment on Alex's post was top 5 life failures in Pokemon.
We're not gonna go that one.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, do y'all want to do the top 5 hottest Pokemon players?
I mean, I'd be down.
All right, let's do it.
I mean, hold on. Where did you post your thing in Burbank? I keep looking for it.
Yes.
I can't
Yes,
find
I
it.
did.
Okay. Anyway, I mean, I guess I'll start if you guys want that.
All right, go, Michael.
Okay. Top 5 hottest Pokemon players, and this is coming. Like I'm gonna say no homo on this one.
Sure.
Okay. Top 5. Okay. Number 1, Igor Costa. Like, have you seen that guy? Oh my goodness. Like Nick Atlanta, you're set. 2. I'm gonna have to say my boy Travion Tiller. It's in the closet. I had to put my stuff away earlier, but I have a deck box of his face that I like keep in my bag. So, like, you can't beat that. 3. I don't know. Can I phone a friend or something?
I don't know.
No idea. I have the top 3. Or top 2. I don't know. I don't really know that many people.
All right, well, forget you, Chris. Answer.
So, as an aside, I was just texted Alex Hill saying, "Yeah, he did your question. He didn't think you'd actually do it." I can't even think of. I have no idea.
You're all let me down. Eric.
I messaged Womble. Womble said Simon Narode. He's still typing, I think. Travion Taylor already did that one.
All right, so I'm gonna give my list real quick. What everybody's trying to figure out. Let's say Curtis Lyon, Britt Pybus, Igor. I'm gonna say, oh man, Kalamal, and then
He doesn't even count. He doesn't even play anymore. But I agree with you there.
All day, all day.
Colin.
Celadon City Gym, best article website. And then my fifth one, we'll say Jay Hornog.
Okay,
There
okay.
we go.
I can respect that.
All right, we'll say JW and Alex are like fifth and sixth.
J.W. Creewall?
Yeah.
I don't know. That guy never accepted my friend request on Facebook.
Oh, I'll tell him.
Wombo's told him before. He doesn't care.
It's not surprising.
All right, Eric, who are your picks for top 5 hottest Pokemon players?
Top 5. I'm surprised no one says Dustin Zimmerman.
Hey,
Handsome fella.
ugly boys.
I'll go with him. Curtis Lyon. Igor, like you guys said. And I really don't make note of what the community looks like, so I'm just gonna say Squeaky and Michael.
Ooh,
It's because I can't think of anyone else right now.
what's up?
I'll take it.
I'm sorry, Chris.
I have.
There's only 2.
Yeah.
So I got Igor, Andrew Mahone,
Ooh.
Travion Tiller, Colin Mall, and I don't know. Okay. My list wasn't completely done. Brett Pybus, that's it.
That's right. Okay.
His hair this weekend was on fleek. I don't know how else to say it.
All right. So, Chris, do you have anything to add before we go?
No, I'm going to insult everyone and say I'm looking up and down my friends list, getting nowhere. So I'd just be copying you guys. So yeah.
All right. So let's hear. Trey Reese says, "How's everyone's day?"
I don't know. I had class from like 8 o'clock to like 12:15.
Ooh.
I don't work on astronomy projects, and that's about it.
Eric's is okay. He keeps disconnecting though.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, that's probably the worst part about it.
How about you, Chris? How was your day?
Class is boring as normal and way too much to do. So yeah, the usual.
Wait, Eric, are you in school too or no?
No, I'm graduated.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah. Right, graduated. Don't worry, I was at work from 6 to 4:30.
Pretty good.
There we
Getting
go.
getting that money.
All right,
YouTube money.
so let's ask this question. We'll let Eric go first. What's up with the Greninja break?
I've tried to make this deck good. I mean, I could just be horrible at building it, but it just doesn't seem that good. Like, I don't know. I think it'll get better once N gets reprinted in the next set, but you know, every time I've built this deck, I just hate playing Sycamore in it. Like, obviously you have to, pretty much. It's the best draw supporter we have, but I just feel like every time I build this deck, it's inconsistent, or I have to just Sycamore away stuff I really don't want to, and it usually only runs a few, maybe like 5 to 7 basics. So I find that in Mulligan's a decent bit too. Like, I want the deck to be good, but I just don't think it's that great right now.
Yeah, I completely agree with everything you just said. Like, I don't have any. It's just so inconsistent. Like, when it gets set up, it's so good. Like, you're doing like 60 for nothing. You're doing 30 for nothing. You can, like, if you're behind, you can ace trainer them and then use your blocking attack. And then, like, they're stuck at 4 cards. They can't shaman out of it. But it's just, you play like 5 or 6 basics. And, like, exactly what you said. It's just so inconsistent.
It's you use so much deck space to achieve so little that you need to take so many turns to set up that at that point Night March is just better because you can attack from turn 1 and do more with less deck space.
Yeah, that's true. Another problem with Greninja that I was testing is you might have like multiple Frogadier in your hand, and you can't use like Frogadier's attack to get them down. You're like, oh, this is bad. All of a sudden, I can't. If you can't Frogadier for 3 Frogadiers, you're doing it wrong. Like,
What if you prize one, or what if you have to
Yeah.
discard one with a Sycamore?
exactly.
You just can't keep up.
All right. So Andrew Colbert didn't have a question, but he said, I played Mega Man and lost every Night March matchup. Jolteon does not allow you to survive that matchup. I was 2-0'd in 2 or 3 of them. So, like Chris said earlier, he destroyed Mega Manetric with Jolteon.
I'm
Get. That's all I have to say. Get good. GIT, easy.
Michael sounds like he's
Night March.
in a static field right now. Let's see. Alright, so, hey Eric, Marcus asked, why doesn't Eric have golden Ultra Balls?
Because I'm a poor scrub. That's why. No, and it's just not worth its value whatsoever. So I'm gonna play them middle class Rev Ultra Balls for the time being. I think.
Nah, no shinies all the way. How we do life. Alright, so here's a question. I don't know if anybody's tested this out. Is Revitalizer good in decks that uses Force of Giant Plants?
That guy was top 4 at Missouri State. Brandon Flowers, he played Dustin Biofilm, and it was really close to Squeezy Twist and Womble Twist, I guess. So he based it off of Womble's website, with CharizardLounge.com. And he played Revitalizer in it, and it seemed to work for him. Sometimes you'd Ultra Ball away like a Vileplume, then you have to Sycamore your other 2 Vileplume. Then you can just Revitalizer them back, and no worries, you're fine. So I feel like it's a decent card, but I think it'd be a 61st card, in my opinion.
I think Michael hit it exactly. It's 61st card that sounds great in theory, but it's so hard to access. You're turning off your own, especially Vileplume, I'm going to assume, because there's no other grass type. If there's another grass type stage 2 worth it, well, that'd be different, but nothing else does anything, so.
But you,
Yeah, I haven't personally tested the matchup, but I did play against one of my friends for fun, and he had the deck built, and he played it in his list, and it seemed to work okay for him. But again, this is just one game. It's hardly what I'd consider thorough testing. So, if you do want to play it, it seems good, I guess. But, if you don't want to play it and rather just play an extra consistency card, like an extra Acrobike or Compressor, whatever it is, that seems fine, too. I just don't have a good informed opinion on it.
I'm going to say this. If you're not playing for Compressor or for Acrobike, you're already in the wrong spot. I'm going to put that right there. But like Chris and Michael said, it's a 61st card. I'm trying to fit in Sound Lab before I'm filling a Revitalizer in. I'm going to let y'all know right now, that's for real a card. And the thing is, too, you might get it at the wrong time. It might be a dead card by the time you get it. You already got Bob. What do you say, Michael?
Good card.
Eh?
It could be you could draw your Revitalizer and just Sycamore it away, but that could have been an Acrobike or something.
Exactly. Hopefully it's not an Acrobike. Hopefully you cut, I don't know what else you're cutting, but like a fourth, it could have been a Gloom or something. I don't know. That's what I think you legit will cut for it. Alright, so let's go to the last question. It's by Damien. Which is better, Night March Vespiquen or regular Night March?
It's a real question.
Yep, that's a real question. We're going with it.
No, I obviously think Vespiquen's better, but
I think straight Night March is better.
I don't know.
I don't know. I messaged Michael Slutsky a week ago or the week before States, and he was like, "Yeah, Mahone and I talked about Night March Vespiquen, and he said like Quinn pushes the Eviltal matchup even more, and Eviltal was like decently popular, I guess. But I don't know. I feel like you want to fit like target whistle and catchers in your deck. So if you do that, then I feel like it doesn't really matter which version you use. Like both are very good, of course, but there's like the Vespiquen version's much better against Seismitoad and stuff like the straight Night March version. I don't know, maybe it's just worse. It's just like you're not gonna have floating pieces in your hand.
Right.
Like I did in my deck, which is like a consistency thing, and I'm sure I had other decks that like you had 4/4 Vespiquen or 2/2 or whatever, but I just had other cards in there.
Yeah.
Just depends.
What about you, Eric? Which one you like better? Night March Vespiquen or Night March?
I would completely agree. I like just straight Night March better personally. I mean, if you do expect a lot of Toad in your area, probably play the Vespiquen one. But I think just generally speaking, I rather just play regular Night March. You have more extra space for those kind of luxury cards that you can't really fit in with the Vespiquen version. So if it was me, I'd go for the straight Night March version.
And to tie things up, I'll say the Vespiquen version is better, just because you can survive like bursting balloons. You survive like silent fear attacks, stuff like that. I don't know. I don't know. Do I know which one's better? No, but I like Vespiquen right now, so we'll go Vespiquen. So, but yeah. But that's all the questions I have. There was a bunch of questions, but like I said at the beginning, a lot of them were fairly like they were like almost similar. Like they might have been like worded just a little bit different. But I think we covered a lot of stuff. But yeah, does anybody else have anything to say before we head out?
Check out thecharizardlounge.com for the latest, greatest content. Andrew Womble, free website, free list, free everything. thecharizardlounge.com. That's all I have to say.
I don't know if Eric wants to go. You want to go, Chris?
Uh,
Oh. Oh,
Who's
anyway.
him?
Oh. Oh, he's gone. All right.
All right. 6 prizes. That is all.
Respect, man. Respect.
And I'll speak for Eric. Make sure you check out Rare Candy, the new YouTube channel that he's starting up. He started a couple months ago, so go check him out. YouTube.com/Rare Candy. Not the Rare Candy, just the Rare Candy. So 6
You're right.
prizes, Charizard Lounge, Rare Candy, Celadon City Gym. Google it. You'll find some good old articles. Colin and Britt both wrote on there. They're on the top 5 prettiest Pokemon players. So, but yeah, guys, good luck this weekend. Wait. Chris, where are you going this weekend?
New York.
Eric, where are you going this weekend?
South Carolina.
There we go. And I'll be at Tennessee, and Michael will probably be at Tennessee too. I'll make Andrew drag him down.
I'll be at my grandma's house.
Yeah, I know. Grandma's house in Tennessee. I got you. All right, cool. All right, guys. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something new. And good luck this weekend. Playing Night March. Make sure you go real fast. That's all I can say. But yep. Have a great day. Alrighty. Bye.